Hi there, your computer friend Connie here. Have you discovered the new Q&A app within Microsoft Teams meetings? Well, I'm going to show you in this video how to find it. It's a little bit tricky. So the first thing you need to know is that this feature presently works within a Teams meeting that's handled within the chat. You cannot use this feature in a Teams channel. All right, so hopefully that will change in the months to come, but at the present moment, if you're trying to do it in a channel, it won't work. So what you're seeing right now on my screen is a meeting that has a Q&A app at the top of the meeting. So if I were to click on that prior to the meeting, I can put some questions in here and have people in the meeting answer those questions. So I have one in here right now. And of course, the whole purpose is that during the meeting, I would have it in use so that anybody that's participating in the meeting could ask a question and have it answered in the meeting as well. So let me show you how to do this. I want you to see where it was first so that you've understood what we're doing. All right, so I'm going to back up now. So let's assume you've planned a meeting within your chat, and that could be, by the way, you could go into Outlook and create a Teams meeting, or you could do it within the calendar area within your Teams, or you could go into the chat itself and plan that meeting. But probably the calendar in Outlook or the calendar from within Teams is the easiest way to do that. If I'm saying the meeting is for later on today or for another day, then when I'm in the calendar area within Teams, I do have the option of saying new meeting, and then I can schedule that meeting and just again make sure that there is no channel involved here. So why don't we create a new one so that you can see how this works from scratch. All right, I have my new meeting created. It's going to be for the 22nd at 2 p.m. It's not within a channel because again that won't work with Q&A, and it's I invited one person to join me. Of course you can invite as many as you want there, but I'm going to send this meeting invite out, and then I'm going to show you how to get the Q&A app available to you after you've created that meeting, because it won't let me create the Q&A app when I'm first creating the meeting. I actually have to create it and then go back into the meeting and edit it. So that's the trick right there. You have to create, then edit. Okay, so I want you to notice in my calendar within Teams, so I'm just the calendar on the left again here. Within Teams, I see the test meeting for questions that I just created. If I click on this meeting, then I have a choice to edit it. I'm going to say that's the best way for you to go about editing this meeting so that you can add in this Q&A app. So you can either click on it and choose edit, or you could double click on it to open it up, and then you'll be in edit mode for that meeting. So let's just choose edit. And once I'm in the midst of editing this meeting, I do see at the top of my meeting a lot more options that were not there when I created that meeting, right? So now at the top, I see that there is a plus sign. So I'm going to click on that plus sign, and that's where I'm going to get the apps. And the app I'm looking for right now is the Q&A app so that I can easily keep track of questions and answers within the meeting. And so you're seeing it right in my list here, right at the top. But if for some reason you didn't see it, you're simply going to type in Q for Q&A, and hopefully it comes up for you. So I'm going to click on Q&A, and now it's confirming that it's going to add this particular app. So this is a Microsoft app that's newly released. So I click on add, and I do have the option of allowing attendees to ask questions and respond to conversations. I could turn that off. If I don't want the attendees to respond, I want to do all the responding, then turn that off. And similarly, if I don't want them to ask questions but just to respond, I might turn off the questions. So moderate would mean that you're in charge of the conversations. So you're keeping track of which ones are being posted. I'm going to turn that off and not have that turned on so that people can just post freely their questions and their answers or responses. So let's save this. That's the settings that we have. All right, and now I have a Q&A tab within this meeting. I could ask my first question. All right, and I asked a pretty basic question, but just to get the ball rolling, so we have a question in there. You don't have to add a question before the meeting starts. I'm just showing you that it is possible. So now I'm going to start the meeting, because right now I've just been editing the meeting, and I want to kind of fast forward and let's pretend that the meeting's actually happening, and so we can see what does the Q&A area look like. So I'm going to click on join over here. So of course I could be doing that from within my Outlook calendar or somewhere else on my screen, but because it's right there, I'm just choosing it out of convenience. So I'll say join now. I don't need my camera on because you can see me anyways. All right, and it's waiting for others to join, of course. So now that I'm in the meeting, I want you to notice that at the top right in my toolbar area, I have the Q&A icon, the little question icon, so a little question mark. So if I click on that, that will open up kind of like a comments area or a chat area, but it's specific to questions and answers. So now you're seeing my first question, how are you doing today? And if we wait for our other attendee to join, then we can see their response. So let's have that happen right away here as an example for you. All right, so we see our first comment and reply to the question that we have here. So if I say show new comment, you can see what they've said. All right, they're doing great, so that's awesome. Now this person that's joining the meeting with me can ask a question, or I can ask another question if I want. So let's just ask question number 2. And of course, if there are more than 2 people in a meeting, you're going to get responses from any of those people, and that you want to make sure that people are responding to the question under the question, just so you can kind of keep it together. Okay, so the comments are showing up interesting, that they're showing up like little bubbles that say show a comment. I'm just going to maximize my screen here. So I have to click to see the comment. And there is a place to check off. I mean, it says check mark, so mark for best answer. So I guess if I'm doing a quiz of some kind, then I can certainly check mark the answers that I got correct. Otherwise, I may not be needing to do that. I can certainly give people the thumbs up or other emojis that are available there. And the 3 dots, there's a few more actions. I can just delete the answer altogether. So that's interesting. I don't think I'll do that one. Let's just do a thumbs up for that one. So the person will get that thumbs up showing up on their screen as well. So let's have the other person create a question so I can see it as the meeting organizer. All right, so watching on my right side, I had the other person create a question. And so what you should notice is it says new posts, because I'm really seeing just the questions and the answers that I typed in or opened up. So I want to go to new posts. And then I'm seeing a new question from the other person. Notice that sort of the CC as being that other person. Is Joe involved in the implementation? So I can answer quickly, yes, he is. And when I'm answering, there was, let's just do that again. If I were to respond, I do have the bold and italics options there, as well as a couple of other things. I can make a list or even link in other documents. So that's quite cool as well. So the question and answer feature within a Teams meeting is a neat new application that you might want to start taking advantage of. This just helps you create a place for that purpose. So instead of having questions within the comments, if you really do need a specific area to address questions and see the answers, then this would be a perfect application for you to start using. I'm going to leave the meeting, and then I want you to see where the questions and answers go so that you know whether you can get back to them after the meeting's finished. All right, so I'm going to hit leave. And as you can see, I'm it's still showing the meeting here because I was in that area within the calendar. So I'm going to close out of it. So the meeting, of course, is still showing in my calendar. So if I were to click on it and edit, and if I were to go to the Q&A tab, so the meeting is saved within my calendar. I can go back to that meeting at any time and then go to the Q&A tab to see all the questions and answers. Let's see if I can see it somewhere else. So I'm going to close this. And I'm going to go to chat. And that was test meeting for questions. It was the one that I was working on. And so because the meeting was in the chat area, I can go back to my chat, find that meeting, and then notice when I'm in the chat area, I can go to Q&A to see the questions and answers that were added in the meeting at that time as well. All right, so you can go back to these things as well. So that's kind of cool too. So hopefully this helps you see some more potential that you can start taking advantage of within Microsoft Teams, and try it out and see how well it can work for you and your team. Thanks very much for watching. Bye-bye.